Today is July 9th, 2020. Several hours ago, we received news that the mayor of Seoul, South Korea, Park Won-soon, has passed away at the age of 64. Just yesterday, this man was accused of sexual harassment. And it just so happens that, as a lawyer, Won-soon was credited with securing the country's first sexual harassment conviction. So here we're going to talk a lot about the language of Gematria, the code of letters and numbers that's used to essentially script everything we see in the mainstream media. This code of letters and numbers is very simple. It's called Simple English Gematria. And this code applies all over the world, whether or not the nation that the event occurs in speaks English. The most simple cipher, English ordinal, seen on your screen. It numbers the alphabet 1 through 26, each letter relative to its position. The reduction method, using the rules of numerology to reduce each double-digit number to a single digit. We'll also take a close look at Latin and English gematrias. These ciphers more closely mirror the ancient Hebrew gematria and Greek isopsephy charts. So let's start with the fact that sexual harassment has an alphabetic order value of 200. And here, this story involves the death of the mayor of Seoul, South Korea. Using the reverse alphabetic order, a complementary cipher which simply flips the alphabet around, going Z through A as 26, Seoul, South Korea sums to 200 in this method as well. In our standard reduction cipher, sexual harassment sums to 56. And notice how Won-soon died on a date with primary numerology of 56. 7 plus 9 plus 20 plus 20. We'll also look at how this is a total eclipse ritual. Notice how the phrase total eclipse equals 56 in single reduction. In reverse reduction, South Korea also equals 56. And the date of this mayor's death fell a span of exactly 5 months and 6 days before this year's one and only total solar eclipse. Now, the number 56 seems to be pretty significant to Park Won-soon, who, as you can see here, was born in the year 56. But notice his birthday, March 26th. In most parts of the world, March 26th is written 26/3, like the number 263. And 263 is the 56th prime number. What's also pretty interesting is that the government of South Korea was established on August 15th of 1948. And measuring from that date to July 10th, which is when this news broke in South Korea, of course, they're quite a bit ahead of us in time, notice how the nation was 26,263 days old. Another alignment with 263. And if you write out Seoul, South Korea mayor, well, look at that. It sums to 263 in the reverse alphabetic order. If we look at the gematria of simply South Korea, and all of these numbers are relevant to this decode, we already looked at the 56, next the 43. Using the S exception, the name Won-soon also equals 43. The 43rd prime number is 191, as you can see there on the left side of your screen. Well, Won-soon died on July 9th, which was the 191st day of a leap year. Now, 191 is a pretty interesting number. If you flip this number upside down, you get the number 161. And in my very last video on this channel, I talked about the significance of 161 and how it relates to the golden ratio in geometry. Well, notice how sexual harassment sums to 1061 in Latin Gematria, which is similar to that golden ratio of 1.61, perhaps the 0 representing a period in this case. In English Gematria, the name Park Won-soon also sums to 1061. Just like in the alphabetic order, we get a 161. Again, this man dying a day after being accused of sexual harassment. In regards to the golden ratio, notice how the word golden equals 57 and the term golden ratio equals 57. And the date on which most South Koreans are learning about this man's death, July 10th, is a date with primary numerology of 57. In reduction, mayor of Seoul yields a 57 as well. So in this part of the video, we'll talk about how the eclipse code is extremely relevant to this man's passing. And we're going to look at the nearest and next, or I should say the most recent and next total solar eclipses. So here on the right side of your screen, you'll see the most recent total solar eclipse last year, July 2nd. The next one is this year, December 14th. And it's very clean to see how these all tie together. Now, the other part of this riddle is that it involves the meetings between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. Of course, Trump, the first sitting president to meet with a North Korean leader in quite some time, if not ever. And in the description below of this video, you'll see a link to my previous video on the summit between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un. So Trump and Kim Jong-un met twice, and this passing is going to be related to both of those as well. First of all, the most recent meeting of Trump and Kim Jong-un occurred on the date February 27th. And if you measure from February 27th to the date of the death of the mayor of Seoul, you get 133 days. And notice how South Korea equals 133 in the standard alphabetic order. Furthermore, Park Won-soon died 3 months and 13 days after his birthday. So the Trump and Kim Jong-un meeting on February 27th, that's the date that's written 2/27 on the Gregorian calendar. And 2/27 is a very significant number. Notice how in the alphabetic order, North and South Korea sums to 227. This is a ritual involving the ancient accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry, which sums to 227 in reverse reduction. And if you measure from the first meeting between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un to the date of Park Won-soon, you get exactly 2 years and 27 days. Now, the number 227 is a very significant eclipse number, and this is due to its relation to the mathematics of the circle. In the ancient Hebrew language, their phrase for total eclipse sums to 227. Intriguingly enough, this is also the value of United States of America in Hebrew, 227. And when you use Alt 227 on a Windows keyboard, you get this pi symbol. And this is because 22 divided by 7 sums to 314 in the alphabetic order, the first 3 digits of pi. And just to pile on top of that, if you actually divide 22 by 7, you get the first 3 digits of pi, 3.14. Now, in Satanic Gematria, the word eclipse sums to 314. An eclipse, the intersection of the two largest circles in the sky. Circles, summing to 314 as well. And check out the flag of North and South Korea. The flag of North Korea has a star, which you could presume possibly is our sun, while the flag of South Korea is a big circle similar to the moon. So the eclipse symbolism is woven directly into the flags of these nations. Measuring from the most recent total solar eclipse to the death of Park Won-soon is 373 days. Well, 373, a pretty significant number. In this case, 373 is the 74th prime number. Notice how total solar eclipse sums to 704 in ancient Jewish Gematria. The word killing equals 74 and 115, just like the last name of the mayor, Won-soon, 74 and 115. So that was the most recent total eclipse. If we instead look at the next total solar eclipse, December 14th of 2020, we get a span of 159 days, which directs us to Mayor of Seoul, which equals 159 in reverse. Just to confirm that the eclipse code is absolutely no joke, I want to bring attention to one very interesting number that they put in this article. According to South Korean police officials, Park was last seen by a security camera at 10:53. And this number might not stick out immediately, but this seems to be related to the two American total solar eclipses that create an X over the United States. Now, of course, this is in Korea, not America. However, consider how this death is related to Donald Trump, who is, of course, from the United States of America. Well, if you measure from the first Great American Eclipse on August 21st of 2017 to the death of Park Won-soon, you get exactly 1,053 days. Pretty interesting, considering he was last seen at 10:53. Now, what if we instead measure to the second Great American Eclipse, which is on April 8th of 2024? Notice how this is a span of 1,370 days, which represents the number 137. In reverse gematria, South Korea equals 137, and instead using the standard alphabetical order, total eclipse sums to 137. And just for good measure, notice how Seoul has 72 and 63 gematria, just like Mayor, 72 and 63. You know what I'm just realizing, too, is that Mayor equals 561, and 561 is what we call a triangular number. So if you add every number 1 through 33, it sums to 561. The word eclipse equals 33 in reduction. Also notice the 192 in Jewish. The date of this news story in South Korea was the 192nd day of the year, July 10th. But in reduction, we get the 33. And South Korea's National Liberation Day, which I forgot to sprinkle this in earlier, South Korea celebrates its national holiday on the 227th day of the year, to go along with North and South Korea summing to 227, amongst a number of other synchronicities here. Well, if you measure from the date, August 15th, which was, again, Korea's National Liberation Day, to the death of the mayor, it's a span of 330 days. And without the end date, this is the day that news broke in Korea, 3:30. Of course, 33 summing to 895. Just like ritual human sacrifice, 895. Very, very intriguing number there. All right, guys, that'll do it for this video. Please, everyone, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, as this type of content is no longer promoted or supported by YouTube. And unfortunately, we have to rely on the goodwill of our viewers to spread the word about Gematria and the truth of what's really happening in this world. So thanks to everybody for jumping in. This has been Derek. Peace, love, God bless, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.